Hey folks, it's Josh Bollinger Outdoors here, and I started working on a little project and I figured I should just include y'all in it. So I don't know if y'all have been to an archery range ever. They have these really cool, normally like 4x4 looking platforms that they hang their targets from and stuff, and so I wanted to go ahead and actually build a portable one of those that I could use in my backyard or take with me to property or anything, so I could take my bag target and actually hang it from it and have it elevated and not have to worry about it toppling over and all the other issues that come with just having a bag target on the ground. I went to Lowe's a couple days ago and just bought a little bit of lumber. Cost me about just under $50, and I'm going to need a little bit more, and I'll show you that at the end, because I'm going to end up putting a roof on it, and I didn't buy the material for that yet, but that shouldn't cost me any more than $20 to $30, I would venture. So in total, I should be able to build this stand for about 80 bucks, and that's going to do a few things for me. It's going to save my target, so instead of getting a bunch of sun fade or water all over it that compromises the integrity of it, it'll help me keep my target longer and use it longer. The other thing that the target will do, like I said, is it'll actually keep the target more in place and raise it up a little bit. So it's more at the level of where I'm going to be shooting towards deer and stuff like that. So I guess I could have just gone and bought a 3D target for probably the same amount of money as what I put into the wood and the bag target, but eventually I'd like to build out like a whole archery range where I've got a few of these as well as some 3D targets and stuff like that. So just real quick, all I did was I bought one 12-foot 4x4, and I cut these at 4 foot 6 inches, and then what I'm going to do is actually take that piece right there and put it over the top and mount that up, and then I got some 2x4s as well. I got three, I think they're 8-foot 2x4s, and then I'm going to use those as the bottom for the bracing and everything. So stay tuned, and I'm going to show you all how I'm going to work this out and get it all mounted up and put together. So like I said, I cut these at 4.5 feet, 4 feet 6 inches, and then I just cut those 2x4s at 3 feet, squared them up with the middle of the board, and put them on the ground. So now I'm just going to measure this top beam I did, and I guess technically I could put this on first, but I'm going to measure this out, and then I'm going to cut two 2x4s to go on the bottom to brace it there, and then mount this to the top as well. Normally I would go a little above and beyond with something like this. I'm going to actually like notch this out to connect it in, but I kind of want it to be up a little higher, and this should work just fine. I'll probably end up putting a 2x4 on the front and back here to mount this to, just to give it a little bit more support. But like, you know, this is supposed to be an easy project with not really much excess cutting and stuff. So like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and measure out for those 2x4s, get them cut, and then screw them to the bottom. just to the frame. So now got to find some level ground to put it on. I didn't actually build it on level ground, so hopefully it is level, but it's wood, it's not going to be perfect, and it's something I'm just cobbling together, so I'm not expecting it to be perfect. But next I'm going to get some eye bolts and put them up into this top beam so that I can use that to hang the bag from. And I'm probably going to call it there for today. If you've ever thought about moving to Florida, don't do it. It's way too hot here in the summer. I literally feel like I can't breathe right now. Like, I feel like I'm gasping for air. The humidity is just awful. I'm drenched in sweat, which is sick because it's not that hot outside. It's only probably in the high 70s, low 80s. But the humidity is just, for me, unbearable. I literally feel like I can't breathe. I need somewhere with drier air because this place is awful. But anyway, the deer are also very small in Florida, so if you're really into saltwater fishing, great place. But if you want to actually hunt something that's substantial, not a good place for that. So anyway, I'm going to put the eye bolts in here. I'm probably going to have to go pick those up a little bit later today and hang it. I'm sure I'll do that today because I want to try this thing out tomorrow in the morning, assuming it's not raining, because it's just been raining here nonstop for weeks on end. I'm going to hang it and see if I feel like I need to put a shelf or anything on it. I think I'll be okay with just hanging it, especially I got a smaller bag. My bag's only 22 inches. This is 29, so it's only 22 inches wide. If you do want to put bigger bags on this, I would suggest probably doing a little bit different with the 4x4s than what I did. So like I said, I did one 12-foot 4x4 just to be cost effective. And I don't need a huge bag for backyard practice. And also it's nice for this thing to be portable. So it's definitely not the lightest thing, and any more wood I add to it at this point is just going to make it heavier. But I am going to add a top to it eventually. I've got one 2x4 left, so I can start that. And then I can have a rain cover on it. But for right now, well, rain and sun cover, because the sun is really just causes your bag, target bags to fade real quick. So, yeah, I mean, it's pretty generic. You can probably see a picture of it online and figure out how to do it, but I just figured I'd show you guys how I did mine. And next up, I'm gonna go ahead and get the bag strapped on and put some arrows in it. All right, y'all, so I forgot to film while I was doing these, but these are just eye bolts. Home Depot, any hardware store will have them. And I just drilled in a little bit just to get the hole started so the wood wouldn't split while I was doing it. And then just cranked them down in there with some vice grips. So I've got two carabiners here. These are not heavy duty climbing carabiners, but this bag doesn't weigh much, so should be good. As y'all can probably see, I did go ahead and actually change my shirt because it's hot here and I was soaked through to the core. But anyway, like I said, this bag's only about 22 inches across. I tried to make this big enough that if I wanted a slightly bigger bag, I could use it, but this is probably honestly about the limit of the bag to use as far as size goes. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and hang it up here. There's two different sides, but the cool thing about this is I can hang it up and then I can just, because it's not hard mounted into the ground, I can flip it around. I'm gonna go ahead and put this side back. What y'all can't see is there's actually a tree behind me that I'm probably gonna use my climbing stand to get up in. And I'll actually be able to take some down shots on this too, which will be cool, so I can not only get sighted in on flat ground and trajectory, but I can work it out of the tree stand too, since most of my shots are honestly taken out of the tree stand. But anyway, like I said, this is pretty light, so I've just got some 550 paracord I'm going to use to wrap it on here and get it mounted up, show you all what it looks like. That way, if I put a different bag on here, I can adjust it. So there you go. Now I just gotta make sure I don't miss, so I don't put any holes in the fence. But that's all there is to it. And like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and build a top cover for this too, so that way it just kind of helps keep some of the rain and the sun off it. But for right now, that's gonna work, and I'm gonna get my bow out and do some shooting.